West Brom 0, Southampton 0. It should be 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion because Diagne headed the ball into the net and the goal has been ruled out. Now, they've gone to VAR, and for all the world, we had a look at it. For all the world, it looked to me like the feet were in exactly the same position. I didn't see an offside there, but the goal does not stand.
I did. I said offside as soon as I saw it. When you just asked me, is that offside? I said yes.
Feet are in exactly the same position.
It wasn't. Right. I'm not saying I enjoy VAR, but the thing is there, you're saying that was not offside with the pictures that they showed. It was.
Their feet were on the line, both on the same line. Well, they're not. I mean,
whether it's a centimetre or 2 centimetres or 3 centimetres offside, it was offside.
But I don't agree. When you looked at the line that was drawn, their feet, for me, were in exactly the same place, on a level on that line. And are you absolutely certain that you know, and you're talking millimetres, you know when that ball specifically left the boot? Because that looked blurred on the picture.
We know. We've talked about this.
So why are you ruling out goals without knowing?
We don't know, because the technology is not there yet. The camera speed is not there yet for when the ball exactly leaves the foot. We can only go on the technology. And what they have just shown on there was offside.
Luke has tweeted, how is that offside? Was Diagne not clearly on there? I thought that it was level at the very least. And Danny Gabidon has tweeted, I hope these Stockley boys saw alternative angles that we don't get to see. Otherwise, that was just our guesswork with the ones we just saw. And that's exactly what you're saying. We haven't got the technology. So why are we drawing such intricate lines to try to desperately prove 1 millimetre of the boot is further advanced than another?
And that's why they're doing it. That's what I agree with. But they're doing it and showing us that. So by me seeing that and seeing the pictures that they draw, from me watching, sat here, Aid, I see that as, yes, it's not right, but it's offside.
Danny Higginbottom, even with the VAR offside lines, that West Brom goal looked onside. Jamie Carragher, did VAR use the offside lines on the wrong West Brom player? Dave, a West Brom fan, which bit of the goal scorer was offside, please? Listen, this is not offside. And what we've seen at the weekend, and we've seen calls that are so close with the offside that for me, it's wrong. They said at the start that VAR wouldn't get scientific. It wouldn't try to bring us the perfect game. And that's exactly what they're trying to do, but they're getting it wrong. The Wolves goal was not offside. The Liverpool goal was about half a yard onside. I still can't. I've looked at that so many times and I cannot see anybody offside there. So on the offside ones, would you agree with those, that the Wolves goal on Friday night was not offside, and Firmino's goal shouldn't have been ruled out as well?
The Wolves one, I was shocked, yeah.
Right. And if we're looking at some other incidents as well, James Tarkowski's kick in the face.
Penalty.
Has to be a penalty. How is that not looked at by VAR?
He said they're looking at it to see if it was high kick. Well, it was an high kick, so it's a penalty. No, it's not.
Right, and this is where we get into the referees that are operating the VAR. And when we say operating the VAR, they're watching telly. They're in a box watching telly. All he has to do is look at that incident and think, oh yeah, that boot's really high because it's planted right in somebody's face. That's a penalty. What part of you doesn't think that's a penalty? And I'll get to this in a second, because the McTominay on Son one yesterday, this was the one that plumbed new depths.
The fingernail.
I do not understand how anybody thinks that's a foul and how the goal has been ruled out. And then I was thinking about it. I think, how has that been ruled out? Okay. So VAR has told the ref to go to the monitor and have a look. And what he's doing is he's overthinking it. We're taking the common sense out. When you overanalyze, overthink, keep looking at something over and over again, you start asking more questions than you should. Go on your first instincts and then a quick check of that instinct, and then you've got the decision. He's watching it and watching it. He's got time to question himself too much. We've got to a point where they are trying to be too scientific and they're over-analysing and they're getting things badly, badly wrong.
Well, McTominay was away. He was away. He was in front of Son, right? Yeah. And Son tried to pull him back.
Yeah, that was the foul.
That was the foul. That was the amazing thing about that. And he caught him with his fingernail. And he did over-exaggerate, didn't he, Son? There's no hiding place for that. Can he have hurt that much when he was rolling round for how long? 7 minutes?
Well, listen, I mean, it was
literally a fingernail.
It was contact to the face, to the head, so maybe the concussion rules should have come into place. I'm not sure, but listen, it was ridiculous, and I think that VAR's doing a little bit more damage than it should. So you've just seen another angle.
Yeah, no, so you've seen the other angle, and it's offside. I don't like it.
Are you
because
absolutely
it's literally,
sure? Hang on.
Yes, it's literally a toe.
Did you not?
As we've talked
Why
about
are you
so
only
many
looking
times.
at toes? There are heels on feet as well. The heel was playing him on.
Wait one.
It absolutely was. Why can't you just sit there and say, no, it wasn't? It was. Unbelievable. And also, since when were we ruling out goals for millimetres of what might be offside, but we don't know when the ball left the boot or...
Since we brought lines into it, unfortunately, that's what the lines are for, Ed.
So do you agree with me when I've said all along... I've
had enough of it.
Hang on,
now.
if you have to start drawing lines, then it's onside.
Yeah. I've had enough of it now, and I think football has got away with a serious... When fans get back in next season, there's going to be demonstrations on this because it's getting beyond a joke now. They're lucky, so lucky, that fans have not been in the grounds during this going on because players... It is... Listen, I always believe you should be able to celebrate, even if you celebrate to start with, then you wait... Then it gets given a goal again. You get to celebrate twice. That's the way I would look about it individually, right? But for fans, it would be an absolute nightmare, right? And if there were fans in the grounds now throughout all this, I think we'd be going into the start of next season with a serious debate about VAR, where the strength of fans' power and what they think of it would carry some weight. There's been no fans in, so I think they've got away with it.
They have, and people are now saying that it's been here so long that you can't get rid of it. I still believe you can and should get rid of it. I certainly believe you should get rid of the drawing of the lines for offside. When was that ever football? Seriously. I mean, who came up with that? Who thought it was a good idea? And who started using it to rule out goals that shouldn't be ruled out? And as Scott Parker said recently, we're getting to the point where we have a sterile game. And who wants that? We want the emotion in there. We don't want to wait for somebody to draw lines on a picture that actually does not categorically prove that somebody is offside or onside. So I think they've got it so badly wrong, and they need to address it. And I'm relieved that you're saying what you're saying, Goughy, because I know you've been pro VAR all along, tried to be pro VAR all along.
Well, at the start of the season, it soon changed. By Christmas, I've totally done my nutting. But as I said, I will still go down to it, Aid. When it is offside, with the law as it is, most of them, they do get right. I know people will argue now, for argument's sake, but that one there was offside.
Yeah, but if you've got...
By the law, even if it's a toenail, it's offside. And I know it's hard to prove, and I agree with you. I'm agreeing on that side. But with the technology they are using and showing us, it's offside.
But that's where VAR is wrong, not those who use it. VAR is wrong. It should be a thicker line for a start, and then you would have more goals being given, because no advantage is gained by the end of somebody's toe or a toenail or a longer boot, a bigger boot than somebody else's boot. No advantage is really gained by an attacking team. So you're ruling out goals when the game really needs goals.